Hello students, we will see some concepts about model analysis. So in order to do some of the real experiment on very large structures like turbines, big pumps, maybe some dams, spillways, all these are very big investments and big structures. Instead of preparing the actual prototype or the actual, what you can say, model of these, what you can say, big structures and experimenting on it, the general criteria what they do is they will prepare a replica of such model, generally in a smaller scale, and do all the practical experimentation on it. So if there is any change in the design, if there is change in some materials required, all these changes they will get to know when they do the experiment on these models. So a model is nothing but a small replica of the actual structure or maybe an actual machine. It is nothing but a small replica of the actual thing. The actual structure or the actual machine, you can call it as a prototype. And it is never necessary that the model has to be smaller. It can be larger than the prototype also. So whatever models you do and whatever study you perform on these kind of whatever experimentations you do on these models, you call it as model analysis. It is an experimental method, and this is one of the old method that is being used to solve some of the complex fluid flow problems. The scene is nowadays we can actually go with the simulations also. Simulations have actually um, been very famous nowadays, where you can virtually create all these models and also do it. Now, what are some of the advantages we can list? See, by doing these kind of models and doing experimentation on these models, we are able to actually check the performance of big hydraulic structures or big machines, hydraulic machines. And these performances, real-time performances, can be easily predicted in advance before they are actually made. Okay. Similarly, you can go with some dimension analysis and a relationship between various variables that is involved in a fluid flow process or maybe a problem in terms of dimensionless parameters you can obtain. These are very important actually. They are very crucial. Dimensionless parameters or dimensionless numbers are very crucial in a fluid flow. Okay. So the relationship between all these variables and dimensionless numbers you can actually find out, and this relationship helps in conducting test of the model also. The merits of alternate design can be predicted with the help of model testing, so we can actually change different designs and we can check and which is economical, which is a safe design. That particular uh, design can be used for the final work that is done on the final machine that is going to get constructed. The test performed on the models can be utilized for obtaining in advance some useful information about the performance of the prototypes only if complete similarity exists between the model and the prototype. This is very important. So I am going to get a reliable output from a experiment done on the model only when there is 100% similarity between the model and the prototype. That is very important. So the similarity existence is a key concept here. If the model is very different from the actual prototype which is required, then the similarity does not exist, then whatever experiment you are doing on the model will not give you the reliable result. Whatever result is required or whatever test you are doing it on something else which you will never do it in the actual construction when you prepare the prototype. So there should be the similarity existing between the model and the prototype. This is very important. Now we will get into the similarity concepts. There is something called similitude. Okay, similitude is nothing but similarity, and which are the different types of similarities that has to be thought of whenever you are preparing a model analysis concerning with fluid flow. So similitude or the word similarity, it is nothing but a similarity. Similitude is a similarity between the model and its prototype, and the similarity is in context with every aspect. What do you mean by this every aspect? We are thinking about similarity between the model and the prototype in three important dimensions. One is in geometric similarity dimension way. Then the model and the prototype should be similar in the kinematic way, and the model and the prototype should be similar in the dynamic way. So dynamic similarity, kinematic similarity, and geometric similarity should exist. Now what are these? If you come to geometric similarity, whatever linear dimensions that you take it, that you are going to measure or that exist in the model and the prototype, a particular ratio should be maintained between them. For example, see, if I take LM as the length of the model and LP is the length of the prototype, LP divided by LM is a ratio between length of the prototype and the model, and that is equal to some value LR. Now LR is defined as a different value, a different word called scale ratio. Now if I take breadth of the model and the breadth of the prototype, BP by MP also should give me the same value LR. Scale ratio I should get. Similarly, the linear one, for example, diameter of the prototype to the diameter of the model, that should also give me the value of LR. So LP ratio, length ratios, breadth ratio, diameter ratio, a single linear dimensions ratios should give you a same value, that is scale ratio. Then only geometric similarity exists. Now if I go with the area and volume ratio, you will have LP by LM, BP by BM. Generally, if it is a rectangular in shape, then LP by LM is LR, BP by BM is also LR. So AP by AM, you will get it as LR square. So area ratio will be square of the scale ratio. Similarly, volume ratios will be cube of the scale ratio. Okay, where BP by DM is also LR, so LR cube you will get it. So the ratio of the geometrical entity between a prototype and the model should have a constant, what you can say, value. It may be length, it may be diameter, it may be what you can say, breadth. Okay, so that tells you about geometric similarity. This should exist. Then only similitude will exist. Similarly, if you come to kinematic similarities, even in kinematics we have studied velocity and acceleration. So the velocity and acceleration of connecting with model and prototype, we should maintain a same ratio. Then only kinematic similarity will be there. For example, see, we define Vp1 as the velocity of the fluid at a point 1 in the prototype. Vp2 is the velocity of the fluid at a point 2 in the prototype. Similarly, acceleration at the point 1 and point 2 of the prototype is defined, AP1 and AP2. See, Vm1 is the velocity of the fluid at point 1 in the model. So Vm2 is the same thing at point 2. Okay, Am1 in the model at point 1 acceleration, Am2 point 2 acceleration in the model. So Vp1 by Vm1 it has to give you a velocity ratio, and this should be actually equal to Vp2 by Vm2. So there should be no difference between Vp1 by Vm1 and Vp2 by Vm2. Then this both ratio will not be equal to Vr. We don't have a velocity proper ratio. Then kinematic similarity will not be there. Similarly, with acceleration, AP1 by AM1 should be equivalent to AP2 by AM2. That should be equal to AR. This is the acceleration ratio. So the ratio between the velocities are same. Velocity ratios are same. Acceleration ratios are also same. So that should exist between a model and a prototype. So that will take you to kinematic similarity. Similarly, the third one is the dynamic similarity. So in dynamics, we are dealing with forces. So you have so many different forces that is acting on the fluid. We have discussed this actually in the initial part of the dynamics of the fluid when we are deriving Bernoulli's equation. So to recap, okay, we have so many different types of forces. What are the different types of forces? Inertial force is there, viscous is there, gravity is there, pressure is there, and surface tension is there, and elastic force is there. So if I go to inertial force, it is nothing but mass into acceleration. If I want to find out viscous force, I'll just multiply shear stress with the surface area of the fluid. If I want to find out gravity force, it is mass into acceleration due to gravity. If I want to find out pressure force, it is nothing but pressure into cross-sectional area, because definition of pressure is force divided by cross-sectional area. Surface tension force is surface tension of that fluid into the length of the flow of the fluid. Similarly, elastic force is the elastic stress into area. See, this all equations which finally goes up to find out the 6 important forces which act on the fluid is very important, because these 6 forces will lead us to a dimensionless numbers, which we'll see it in the next video. So now I'll come back to dynamic similarity. There are 6 different forces, in which 3 are actually very important, like inertial, viscous, and gravity. So if I define FIP, F mu p, and FGP as inertial, viscous force, and gravity force at a particular point in a prototype. Similarly, FIM, FV, mu m, and FGM as the inertial, viscous, and the gravity force at the same point in a model, then the ratio between the inertial forces of the prototype and the model should be equivalent to ratio of the viscous forces of prototype and model. That should be equal to ratio of the gravity force of the prototype and model. They should be everything same, and they should give you a single value, which will define it as F of R, and F of R is nothing but ratio of force or force ratio. So if force ratio, velocity ratio, acceleration ratio, and if there is something called scale ratio exists, then you have geometric similarity, you have kinematic similarity, and you have dynamic similarity. So model analysis, where you are creating a replica, comparing it to prototype, only works when there is a similitude between the model and the prototype. In the next video, we will see dimensionless sums. Thank you.